So I finished my quickie graphic here in Photoshop and saved it out, and I'm going to go to Premiere to import that graphic. Now I'm going to use import, find that image, and I happen to put it on the desktop, and I did rename it so it had a little bit better name. That is, if I can find it. Travels to India, so it's there. And I'm going to click on Open, and see what it comes up with. Now here's what's important, is realizing what it's going to do. You've got a couple different ways that you can import Photoshop documents. You can do things as merge all layers. You can merge all the layers. You can do individual layers, or you can bring it in as a sequence. One of the nice things about bringing it in as a sequence is that you can then animate that sequence, and that's what we're going to do. So let's click OK. Once we've chosen Import as Sequence, and it will create a folder called Travels to India that has the layers of our Photoshop document in there, plus it has a sequence that's the same name as the Photoshop document we had. Double click on that sequence, and it will open it up, and I can zoom in just a little bit just to see how long this is. Right now it's making it only 5 seconds long, so that's not a really long graphic. I'm going to go out to 10 seconds. So I've moved my timeline to 10 seconds. Another way of moving to 10 seconds is just to type in 1000 and hit enter, and it will jump right to it. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to move certain elements to 10 seconds long. So I'm going to go ahead and drag my bottom part to 10 seconds, and then I'm going to move the other ones out, and then maybe extend the length of the bar so that things overlap a little bit here. And right now you can see I've created a very, very simple animation. And of course, the next part of this animation is to actually do some sort of effect. And there are a couple different ways to do that. You can do it with transition type animations. So if you wanted to do like a video transition where something slides in, we can add it to the beginning of something, and that might make it slide in. Or if we want a little bit more control with that, we want to go back to our effects controls and actually do it manually. And in this case, I suggest that you go to where you want it to end, set your position and scale keyframes, and maybe even your opacity keyframes, because we can turn that on too, which is kind of cool. Then go back. Then we'll change it around, such as we can scale it up a little bit. And then we can change our opacity down as well. Now that is not the most beautiful animation ever. I'm totally aware of it. And we really shouldn't animate text where it zooms in and out the way I'm doing it right now. I'm just doing this to show you kind of the different keyframes, because text never looks that good. Bitmap images never look that great when they've been scaled. But I do want to go ahead and apply the temporal interpolation Bezier to that. That will slow that down just like applying ease. And the last thing I want to do is, let me see if this will actually be able to scale this particular image. If so, it'd be great. And go one frame before, scale, and position. I'm going to go to the very beginning, scale it back, and here's what I was afraid of. Notice that even though my image was much larger in Photoshop, it cut the image to exactly the size of the Photoshop document, meaning that I don't have any of the image that's outside of it in the Photoshop document. So if you want to be able to do things like animate this picture coming in from larger to smaller over time, it means that you're going to have to import a much higher resolution.